Coaches, the fitness industry is shifting fast, and your old playbook, well, it's not really that relevant anymore because things like funnels, massive teams, juggling a dozen low ticket offers, they are out. But I am going to tell you what's in. Now, if we haven't met yet, I'm Andrew, a business coach who helps online health and fit pros build their gateway, and I do it by ditching generic systems to help you step into your unique coaching superpower. And if you've been following my content on YouTube here, you know that I'm all about creating sustainable, scalable businesses by focusing on high value clients, authentic connections, and systems that actually make you feel good. So in today's episode, I'm going to be diving into the top 3 trends for 2025 that will reshape how we do business in this space, from turning your authenticity into your most profitable funnel to building deeper, more meaningful communities. These aren't just predictions, guys. These are going to be the strategies that will keep you ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving industry because coaching is changing every day. Now, if you're ready to break free from the kind of outdated bro scaling tactics, and I'll share what that means in a moment, and step into a model that aligns with you, let's get right into this. So to start, I want to walk through the old model, which is basically you have a complicated funnel, you have a bro scaling system, which basically you're hiring on multiple teammates, and then you've got multiple offers that go from low ticket all the way ascending into a high ticket program. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with this model, but I will tell you something. It is becoming more and more expensive to attract people in your business these days. Ads are 3 times more expensive than they were literally last year. And I remember in 2008 when I started running ads, I was looking at like 4 cents a lead. Now sometimes we're looking at $99 a lead. It's absolutely outlandish how crazy that's grown. But it really shows, and I bring up ads because it shows something really important, that if visibility is costing that much, then your social medias and your eyes are also making this more complicated because your visibility is going to be the thing that you're fighting for. So here's what the old model is. The old model that almost every single health business coach is teaching you is you have to have a complicated funnel. It's got to have 3 to 5 nurture sequences for the welcome email. They have to get in on a live webinar or some type of a masterclass. This leads them to another funnel that might have 3 to 4 videos for them to watch. Those videos have to be precise. They got to be exactly focusing on that specific person in order for them to build this value. And then at the end of that funnel system, there has to be kind of the bro scaling. This is where you're going to have at least 4 to 5 appointment setters. You're going to have 4 to 5 closers. You're going to have a VA on staff. Then you have to have a sales manager, all for these people to kind of sell at a, let's say, 20 to 30% close rate. And you have to have them on staff to an LBO. This is basically a low barrier offer. And that low barrier offer might be something like a 99 or 199 or even worse, a free trial to finally get them into a place where this person is considered a client. Now, I don't really think that that's like a realistic system to put on people. And on top of that, they're going to go onto this LBO. They're going to join probably a small 6 or 8 week program. And then they're going to be in the spot where they can continue to invest to become one of your high level clients. Now, this old system, it used to work in the past because leads were cheaper, visibility was easy to get. I mean, let's be real, you didn't have to have a large social media following. You could just pop open an account, and as long as your content was good, people would come to you, as well as having multiple cold callers or cold lead people. It was basically like just simple numbers. 150 reach outs a day, got you 10 consults, you closed 20%, and that was kind of your way of building business. But because visibility is so expensive now, because there are other professionals like you that are actually building brands and building movements, the cold callers and the cold setters, they're getting less and less leads. Your funnel system, you're having to make more and more tweaks to adjust it. And the multiple offers, well, it's just taking too long for people to actually go through and make money. So what's happening is this old model of complication, it's not working anymore. And this is why you have to basically get ahead of this and you have to change from this old model into what I predict is going to be the new model for 2025. So we'll start into the first piece of this new model, which is number one. This is authenticity. Authenticity is the new funnel, which means that your embodiment of your message is going to drive 80% of your revenue. Instead of having a 5 or 6 funnel sequence, you can easily create content and create a message where people resonate with who you are. They fall in love with what your process is, and they want to be like you. They want to operate like you as the coach. And this is how I fell in love with all of my mentors. I started watching them on their socials. I got to see their personal lives. I got to see how they operate with their family. I fell in love with their values. And then I started to look at their message and say, oh, wow, these people really know what they're talking about. And it was only then did I then say, I trust this person enough to then reach out for coaching. I didn't have to watch a webinar. I didn't have to look at a complicated seminar. I didn't join their email list. I made the decision to work with them based off of what I was seeing day to day. And because of that, because we can build such an intense connection through social media, through your reels, through your content, through a YouTube channel like I do with you guys, it means that for you as a coach, what matters more is not the complicated funnel, because sometimes people don't make it there. What matters more is the embodiment of your message. You have to live, practice, and preach your message every single day to attract people who are like, oh, wow, I really like what that coach is about. I love the fact that they are into spirituality while working on their business. I love the fact that they like to be unique and be different and that they don't like to use cookie cutter methods. I love the fact that they do this in their sales process. That's where, like, our clients inside of Coach to Coach, they fall in love with our process, not the tools and the tips and the funnel. And yes, there is still email sequences and nurture, but it's very short. You don't need the perfect funnel these days. You just need a powerful message and a connective tribe. So authenticity is going to be really important. The more authentic you are, the more leads you're going to get through your social media. This leads to kind of number two, team scaling is dead. This is what I call bro scaling. Honestly, there is no rule in 2025 that says you need 4 setters, 4 closers, and 7 coaches to make big profits. The desire for big teams is gone, and crazy high revenues and minimal take home, it's lost its appeal. I remember when I had the studio and we had close to 11 We had 11 employees. So funny. Close to 11. This is what happens when you have a person who, like, you don't even consider an employee. I guess probably I shouldn't share that, but that's just the truth. The reality is I had people on my team that I was like, why do I have you to fill these in between roles? I never considered HR employee as an employee because they don't really fulfill a purpose. It's basically like a legal thing. Like when you have 10 employees, at least in Canada, you have to go and you have to put someone in to like form HR to make sure that these people are being taken care of, which it doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like that's a redundancy because you could take them away and just pay other people to just like perform better and live better lives. But I digress anyways, doesn't matter for that. Like for me, when I see large teams, that means that you're having constant people on payroll, which means that your profit is going to be smaller. So as an example of the way that I run Coach to Coach now, we have 4 people on our team and we make 60% profit. You don't need a giant team because with automations, with AI, and with having a high client converting content that attracts like-minded people to you in your message, why do I need 15 cold setters to try and reach out to 150 people a day when I'm getting 30 to 40 messages weekly of right-minded coaches who are like, hey, I want to work with you. I don't need a giant team. I don't need people for consultations when I can just make recommendations in the DMs, tell people, hey, this is the program that you need, and have them join via a self sign-up link because I built that trust in my content. I can tell you the biggest grace for me of shrinking down the team is the people that I have now. They're the people that I actually need. I can pay them crazy amounts and pay them right. And at the same time, I can take home the money that I actually deserve because guess what? I'm focused on just providing value to the clients instead of trying to fill all of these people into BS roles, especially something like HR, which I will say is a BS role. Number three, okay, this is a big piece going into 2025. It's community. Community is going to become the cornerstone of your success because apparently people are lonely and you know that they're lonely. Like your biggest focus inside of your audience, inside of your programs, inside of everything that you do is deeper connections with your clients, deeper connections with your audience, and focusing on a better community. Now, notice I said better community, not a bigger one. People are going away from these 3,000 or 4,000 people Facebook groups. They want to be a community with 100 to 200 members. Everyone knows their name. People are talking back and forth. There's high engagement. There's a high level of connection and accountability because coming out of COVID and coming out of this like online coaching, you're doing Voxer, people are out of touch. They want to know that you get them. They want to know that you understand where they are, that other people are going through the same challenge. And this is where if you build a community correctly, and you lean into building a strong community, you're going to get a high amount of referrals. You're going to get more like-minded clients because guess what? Those like-minded people probably are friends with people who are the same type of person. And so this is where you're going to be able to build recurring revenue very easily in 2025 and have clients that stay for longer. It's not about anymore having a low barrier program, having 5,000 people in a group, and then selling them on tiny micro offers. People are done with that stuff. They want to be put in a high ticket container. They want to spend $3,000, $5,000 with you, be in a group that's 50 to 100 people. It's tight knit. They're excited to be there. They show up to every call and they know that you give a shit. Why do they know that you give a shit? Because this big community wouldn't exist if you didn't care. This is where you're going to actually have to step in to the biggest version of coach that you are. And this is where you're going to have to do more coaching calls, provide extra bonus value that maybe you haven't been providing to your clients, and create content that specifically is to encourage people to get into a group because truthfully, that's where they get the best accountability. It's not from you as a coach, it's actually from the group itself. So those are my predictions of the top three things that are going to grow and scale a fitness business going into 2025. It's not teams, it's not crazy funnels, it's not these like a million different low ticket offers. No, it's being authentic. It's making sure that your team is very, very small, but it's intentional and it's having a community. And I'm curious as well, like, what are your predictions for 2025? What do you think the number one trend is that's going to help scale fitness businesses? That is all for this video, guys. And make sure you, of course, subscribe to the channel where I drop more videos like this. See you on the next episode. We'll catch you later. Bye.